works and what are the models, then which we can use for object detection, and then there will be a short code like how we can use whatever existing models are there for doing object detection. So I'll quickly share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be a basic overview, which will give you an idea
Yeah,
how object detection works. So, as an introduction, what the object detection is, it's a computer vision technique that allows us to identify, not only identify, but it will locate the object in the image. So, with this kind of identification and localization, uh, object detection can be used to count objects in a scene, determine tracks, their precision, location, all by accurately labeling them. So, what it does, it not only identifies that yes, this image contains this object, but it will give us the exact location. If you see in the picture at the right hand side, it tells us that this picture has a person as a cat and two cats basically. Also, it gives us a bounding box around it saying that where exactly the person is, where exactly the cat is. So this is called object detection. Now there is a confusion between image recognition and object detection. So image recognition basically just gives a label to an image that this image contains a dog, whereas object detection gives the exact other than labeling, it gives the exact location of the object where it exists at a pixel level, where it exists in the image. So on the right hand side, the first image is image recognition and of a dog, which says it's a dog, and the second image states that where the dog is exactly in the image. So now what are the modes, like how it works, and how system knows that it's an object. So broadly speaking, there can be two approaches. One is a machine learning based approach, and second is deep learning based approach. So what happens in traditional machine learning based approaches, it looks for various features in the image, and such as colors, color histogram, or edges, identify some group of pixels that may belong to an object, and these features are then fed to a model. That model is known as a regression model because it tries to find out relation between interdependent features. So I have a list of features. I'm trying to figure out relation between dependent and independent features out of it. So these all features are fed into the regression model, and then that predicts the location of the object along with the label. So that is traditional machine learning approach. Now, on the other hand, what is deep learning based approach? This employs a convolutional neural network to perform end to end. Like what happens is in this, I won't give that these all are the feature I need to find out. There are different layers of neurons, which or I would say there will be several blocks through which input will be passed, and it will extract all the features out of it, and then there will be a classifier. Whatever those layers will output to the decoder, it will feed this thing to the classifier, and the classifier will give the exact label of the object. Now how this thing works, we'll learn about it in the next slide. So what happens is the most state of the art technique is deep learning based approach. So what happens is there will be series of layers. Let's say there will be an encoder, Then encoder takes an input, runs a series of blocks and layers, and learn to extract its features and locate. Now what happens is there are again some 3-4 kind of approaches in deep learning based approach as well. So what in this in the right hand side image, there are some layers, convolutional layer. They extract some feature, then they will propose some regions. Like in this image, these are the regions where my object might exist. Then this that proposals will be fed to a subnetwork. Subnetwork is basically a classifier. Now this classifier will check on those regions and gives the label like yes, this particular region contains this particular object, and this is the label for that object. So this is a kind of deep learning detection model which is called region proposal. We call it, there is a terminology here. Mm, um, uh, region like the decoder will be a model which proposes regions of an image where it believes that object might reside, and the pixels belonging to that region are then fed to a classification subnetwork to determine a label, or it rejects the proposal that no, there is no object there. Then it runs pixels containing those regions through a classification network. The benefit of this method is more accurate. This is more flexible. That can purpose arbitrary number of regions, and that may contain bounding boxes. So as I said, there are different types of encoders and decoders as well. So at some places what happens is what we have to do is we have to feed in features, we have to feed in like a number of objects residing in the image before training it, but these networks we need not tell them like how many objects are there. N number of objects they can identify from an single image. They just propose like a series of layers, proposes a region, and then those regions are then fed to the classifier. Classifier can classify the objects residing on this image and or reject whether it doesn't find any object in that region. So another type of like similar deep learning models are single shot detectors. Now, unlike region proposal networks, what these have is these have a predefined regions. Rather than having a sub network to propose regions, they have some predefined region, a grid of anchor points that is laid over the input image, and at each anchor point, boxes of multiple shapes and sizes serves as a region. Now, for each box, each anchor point, the model outputs a prediction whether there exists an object or not within that region, and modification to that box's location and size is to make it fit to the object more closely. Now, because there are multiple boxes at each anchor point, the anchor point may be close together. Now, SST produce a potential detections that overlaps. Now, post-processing has to be applied to SST outputs in order to prune away these predictions and pick up the best one. So what happens is, unlike region proposal networks, these have a predefined grid set, and every block or anchor point is checked if whether the object is there or not. If the object is there, then it is classified. So similarly, these are the three types of deep learning based object detection models which we learn. Now we'll see I'll tell about some families which belongs to these classes separately. So if you see here RCNN. So RCNN is again region convolutional neural network. So if you see RCNN, faster RCNN and mask RCNN, belongs to region convolution network family. So they proposes a region, and then that is feed to subnetwork, and which is a classifier, which basically tells us where is the this thing object reside in the that region. Like over the years, they have become more accurate and computationally efficient. So Mask RCNN is the latest iteration developed by the researchers at Facebook, and it makes a good starting point for the server-side object detection. So again, these models are big and they are good only for server-side object detection. That means I cannot use these in browser, like client side. So another family is YOLO, MobileNet plus SSD, and SqueezeNet. Now, these models belong to a single shot detector family, where there exists a predetermined anchor points, and main difference, predefined determined grid is there, and there is no subnetwork for region proposal, and these are basically best suited for low power device, or for example, I want to put my detection models inside a mobile app or some embedded devices, then these are good to use. So the main difference between these networks is the encoder which they use. So for example, MobileNet plus SSD model use MobileNet based encoder. SqueezeNet borrows SqueezeNet encoder. YOLO model features its own convolutional architectures. So these are a great choice for the models that are destined for mobile devices or embedded devices. So another, the latest thing, most recent thing that has come up is CenterNet. Now, what is CenterNet is like this model consider an object as a point, then predicting like that point as a center of that object. They find coordinates of the center of the object and then extend its width and height. So this technique has proven both more efficient and accurate than SSDs or RCNN approaches. Now, like there are three high-level families which I have talked about. Now we'll see, like I'll pick up some of them and then I'll show how they predict. So yeah, I'll show some code. Yeah. So there is a link here in the same PPT for the Colab notebook which I am using here. So it's a object detection thing. Now what I am doing is I am importing. So TensorFlow is the library which I am using. This is from Google. Now what it does, like it is doing is I'm importing TensorFlow, then I'm importing some libraries for downloading image, then I'm importing some libraries to drawing onto the image. So this is basically more of visualization. My model will detect and tell me the coordinates where the object actually resides in the image, and then I need to draw those boxes over that image and show it here. So first of all, I go and simply run this. This will import all my functions. Yeah. So this importing is done. Then what I'll do, I'll like run some helper function, like I need to display image, I need to download image and then resize it. I want to draw some bounding boxes on the image. And draw boxes is another function. So these are some helper function which I'll be using in order to like download image and like resize it and then draw boxes over it. So it is run. Now then what I'll have to do, I'll have to like I'm downloading an image. So this time I'm running on an image. It can be a webcam feed also. So it depends totally on me. So there is an image URL here which I'll be using. So I'll again download image and download and resize is the function which I have defined earlier in this code block. So yeah, it is downloading image. Yeah. So as you see, this is the image which is downloaded. Now, what I'll do, so there are two models we have here currently, and that is one is faster RCNN plus Inception. These are the model names. So I'll show where to check what all available models. And there is one called SSD Mobile Net version 2. Now I have picked one out of them, that is module handle. Okay. So Inception ResNet, like this first one is the module handle. Then what this hub.load will do. So if you see here, I have imported a library here called import hub from TensorFlow hub. Now what I am doing is I'm just simply calling their model here. So loading the model, play. So it will load the model to this detector variable. It is loading. It is taking time. Yeah, so model is loaded. Now there is another function to load an image. So this is some pre-processing happening on image. Then there is a function to run the detector. So what it does is it will load an image from some path and then convert the image to something, and then um, there is a detector function on that converted image. After that it will give some it will draw boxes. These all are the function we have defined above, and there is a function for displaying image. So I'll run this function. Yeah. So at the end, when my all functions are defined, my model is loaded, my detector is ready. So I just have to run this function, run detector. So now it is drawing the image. Yeah. So if you see here on the image, it defines it as a table. This is a chair, and somehow labels are not appearing, maybe because text is also black. And this is a tree. So if you see, so many objects are identified here. Chairs, black boxes are chairs, then these are tables, and this is a tree. Now I have some three more images here, so I can simply like load and then detect all three images like this. First image downloaded and detected. So it is like a beetle and an insect. And this percentage is like every detection will have a series of objects which can are the possible matches for it. So it will show the most highest percentage of what we say confidence percentage. So it will show that one. Then second image, it is downloading that image, and then inferred it's drawing now. Now the second image shows that if you see, there are so many mobile phones, corded phones, and the desk is here. So these are detected. And the image 3, it's a painting. It is detecting this bird as an animal. This is a woodpecker. This is a bird. It's a plant, and then it's a plant. So this is basically how I'm loading the model and then reusing it. The link for this notebook is there in the PPT. I'll share this PPT. Now there is like a central hub. Yeah, there is something called TensorFlow Object Detection API. So what we can do is we can basically download these models and train or customize them according to us. If you see here, these are trained for some specific objects. Now, if I want to train it for my use case, I can download them and use this object detection API in order to train them in my use case. So all set of instructions and things will be there. Now there is a central repository here. I have mentioned the name like tfhub.dev. So if I go to tfhub.dev, yeah. So here they have all sort of models, whether it is a text based, image based, or video based. I can go and let's say image based models. Then I can go to, if you see here, there are so many models here. So I can see MobileNet. I'll search for MobileNet. Oh, not MobileNet version 1 classification. So there are so many models, be it a video problem, text problem, or image problem. And if I go to individual model, there will be a set of instructions as well how I can use this model. So there will be a set of instruction as well. So how I can use those models. So this is by Google. Yeah, anybody can use them. Filter it out and use them. Yeah, all collections. Yeah, so link is there again. Yeah, that was it. Any questions from this?
So, like the best method for object detection currently is CenterNet.
Yeah, as of like what I read. Maybe I have missed something, but yeah, what I read is was that.
How is it better than others? Like, what's the difference?
Like there are different techniques followed by different kind of networks. So one is like the first one has a subnetwork itself. So that is accurate, but then there like it cannot be used on low power device. Then second one will be SSD that removes this subnetwork layer and um, and it will be a lightweight object. The third one is CenterNet, which what it does it instead of defining regions and all those things, it removes that concept completely, and then it consider an object as a point, and it tries to find out the coordinates where the center of the object is, and then just increase height and width. So, which is found as more efficient and accurate. So that is why it is good.
Okay. And like you were saying, the difference between object recognition and detection, right? Image recognition and detection.
Mhm.
So, like sorry, image recognition, it identifies what object is there. So, right? Or
Yeah. Image recognition, it identifies what object is there, but doesn't give a localization of that object, that where it is exactly.
but like how did it figure out that that certain object is there but can't figure out the location?
So, it divides, like there is some thing called image segmentation. Like it, mm, that is there. So on pixel level, it checks what happens is it. I'm not so sure, but I'm telling like what happens is on pixel level it matches whether this group of pixel may belong to this family or not, like that.
Okay,
Subhash?
like it's like image recognition takes like the overall picture uh, as the this thing. It doesn't
Group
search
of
like.
pixels.
Mhm.
Hmm. Subhash, uh, hello.
And like is object detection used in manufacturing factories and all, like to identify like is it object detection only, like identifying what part is like where's the error in a part or something like that, like manufacturing cars and all, or like Coca-Cola, that glass bottle is there, no? Like,
Mhm.
so is that also object detection? No, it can't be object detection. But it's using the same model
Man-
probably.
Manufacturing industries have their own mechanism to check for the faults. It's not I don't think mostly it is computer vision, but it's more electronics, I would say.
Because in Discovery or Nat Geo, like some mega factories and all, it comes, no? So for Coca-Cola, like they make the glass bottle, they like they roll out multiple glass bottle in a line very fast, and then there's a camera below capturing the bottom part of it. If
Mhm.
like it's going very fast, if they have any crack or anything misaligned or anything like that from the how it actually should be, it
Mhm.
like throws out the bottle or something completely from the belt.
Not
I was
sure.
thinking if it's something like object detection or not.
Throws out from the belt, right? So object detection नहीं होगा. It will be more physics.
No, but it captures the camera. It's not the weight or anything like that. It
Mhm.
captures the bottom of the a bottle from
Mm-hmm.
using a camera or something, and then it throws away whatever is not there.
I'm not sure. Mm-hmm.
And one more thing, like in this collab, you say, like it takes some time to detect the objects, right? So
Mm-hmm.
how do people do it like in live, like in the remote proctoring, let's say, or during surveillance?
Mm-hmm. So these are all like server side model, I believe, and JS wala model is somewhat different from it, maybe lightweight.
Or
Again,
does it have to do with how many types of object it has, like in its uh, like how much is it trained? How many different types of objects is it designed to train or something like that?
no, there is a mechanism called quantization of a model. So to reduce the size of the model, but that is a trade-off. It will affect the accuracy of the model as well. So I have created a model, and then that will be quantized to a smaller size. Um, but accuracy will be affected. So maybe that technique is used.
हम्म। ओ ठीक है।
So Subhash is there or he left?
he's
I'm not sure, like he's not responding. Can we stop recording?
हाँ।
Hmm. Nobody joined.
No, people joined, but yeah, probably some other meeting started because I see them busy.
Hmm.